Checking out the Jessem Weekend Warrior router table package. Now Jessem did send these out for me to review, as well as some other cool accessories, but actually this is number 20 on the router tables that I've either built, used, or reviewed. So if there's something that stands out as particularly good or maybe a little lacking, I will certainly let you know. Let's start with the top, because I know that's where a lot of questions come in if you're new to router tables, but the width on that is just a scotch under 32 inches. And if this is 24, yeah, about an eighth under 24 inches. So pretty standard tabletop, but you also need to consider the opening for your router plate or lift. And this one, luckily, is super standard, 11 3/4 by 9 1/4. And then the corner curve, it matches a 1.5 inch diameter. So as if you were drilling out a template with a 1.5 inch Fosner bit. And I'm actually going to be using this with my 3.5 XT router lift that I already had for a portable router table build. And if there's enough depth on that, I'll use it with this stainless steel insert from Infinity, but we'll have to see how that looks when we tighten it down. It's close. Now, right out of the gate, I noticed two things about the tabletop that I don't usually see. In fact, one I've never seen on a router table, and they're actually really good ideas. The first are these metal runners that are attached to the bottom of the table. That, of course, just keeps everything nice and flat over time and not magnetic, so it looks like these are actually stainless steel. That is nice. Kind of reminds me of that L bracket that's on the bottom of their router lifts to keep those flat as well. So you get a nice combination track that accepts 1/4 inch bolts, 1/4 inch T-bolts, or standard miter bars, but the part of this that I've never seen before is the way that this track actually is cut to a T profile so that it can never lift out. I think that's a really clever detail. Only one minor nitpick I see. When I build these myself, I leave a little more material between the cut opening and those 1/4 by 20 inserts, but overall, probably not a big deal. Let's get a peek at the Rout-R-Fence 2. I think this one has kind of cam lock actions like my old bench dog fence did, and I really like that. So let's see how this one looks. Ooh, heavy steel construction on this one. Reminds me a little bit of the woodpecker's fence I've used on their portable version, but this thing is solid. Yeah, this is that clamping action or kind of cam lock that pinches the edge of the table rather than relying on, T-tracks or through slots in the table. So we'll play with that a little more once we get the leg set put together. And that looks to be well packed in here, but I'm interested to see how sturdy these are. Oh, they're actually L-shaped with a return. So that gives them some good structural stability. Let's check them out. Crossbars, no doubt. And I'd be surprised if these don't come to you in just perfect condition, because the packaging on this is really nicely done. And recyclable too. I don't think I've pulled anything out of these boxes that wasn't totally recyclable, so those little details make a big difference to me and avoid that kind of sick lump in your throat when you throw away a bunch of styrofoam. And look at this slick little bit of branding there. They actually have a 3D logo there, so I love having cool tools in the shop, but as much as I like something like this on the lower rail, I'm actually really glad that Jessem didn't try to route in logos and recesses on the tabletop, because I've actually been frustrated by that from other brands. Now, it's okay if they take the time to really get it right, but when it's not flush with the table, yeah, I really don't like that. And the hardware pack doesn't look too imposing. Now, I put a lot of these metal leg sets together, whether it's for router tables or just general shop gear, and most of them are pretty flimsy until you really get the bolts locked down, but on this one I noticed something a little different. These lower rails actually lock into slots in the legs, and that helps to self-align the bolt holes. And then the threaded inserts are already pre-installed for the lower rails as well as the casters, so assembly should be a breeze. So upper and lower rails go on in a similar fashion, just finger tight for now, no big deal. Add the 4 side rails, just as you would expect. And the other long rails go together the same way, and I like the fact that they lock together, just makes it easier to get things started. And maybe throw a square on there as you snug up all the fasteners. Nice. And look, they've even got everything nicely pre-drilled for us, so that's one benefit of using the Jessem brand stand with this kit. Just make sure you have the front of the leg set at the front of the router table, and of course clutch down your drill so you don't overdrive things, and you should be good to go. All right, so that's what we've got so far with those leg levelers on. This thing is nice and sturdy. One thing to note is, although you have these extra holes down here, those are for the optional casters, and so as such it's not really height adjustable, so that becomes a more important stat, but it comes in just under 36 inches, so it is on the taller side anyway, which I think will work really nice in my shop. Then as far as leveling up the plate, boy, it's close, but I don't think I have the depth to use that stainless steel insert ring that I have in there, so I'll just go ahead and pull that out. Rough level that with a little scrap block, and then you can fine tune things with a nice straight edge. Even my wife walked out and said right away, you know, that thing looks nicer than a lot of other models you've tested. And I do think the fit and finish on this is a strong point for Jessem, especially considering you could pay double this with other premium brands. And the fence setups are one of the quickest I've seen. Just 2 cam locks and you're good. The individual fence faces are adjustable, which is common, but on this one you can actually adjust the fence for square, and I've only ever seen that on one other model, so that's a really nice feature. And for that you can just make fine-tuning adjustments. There's 3 on each side, but luckily mine came perfectly square right from the factory. And I know somebody will ask me if these cam locks are trustworthy, and I tested it quite a bit, and with all my might I can't get it to budge, not even in the least bit, so I definitely do trust these cam locks. And I definitely don't have that level of confidence with basic T-tracks to hold a fence down, so this is a big improvement in my mind. I still need to find some place to store this crank, so I'll have to come up with something on my own. And if you've come up with a good way to store accessories on your router table, drop me a note in the comment section. I'm looking for some good solutions. Right now I'm just keeping everything in a zippered bag close to my router table, but I bet somebody out there has done a better job of that. Another thing I noticed right away is it gives you ample room out in front of the bit. So from the front edge of the table to the center of the bit is right around 13 inches. So compared to my old bench dog router table that I was currently using, I only get about 8.5 inches to the front of the bit. So this one will have the advantage, especially when I'm working with those wider boards. Now I've been using stock guides at the table saw and flex stock guides on my other router table, but this will be my first test with these original stock guides for the router table. So you just slide those on and tighten up the pivot knob first, then just apply whatever downward pressure you want the rollers to exert and lock in that other knob. Should be about right. So that'll hold your workpiece not only down but against the fence, so in my mind it's always like having 2 sets of feather boards, one on the fence and one on the table, just in a smaller package. And then I'll pop off the fence because I want to show you that box joint jig that Jessem has. It's pretty slick. The jig has a really smooth action and it actually rides on ball bearings. So basically you just pick one of the 3 different keys and one of the 3 different backer boards, depending on the size of joint that you're making. So with this one jig you can actually do 1/4 inch, 3/8 or 1/2 inch box joints. And that key actually fits into a little recess there, so basically they've taken all the guesswork out of it for you. So just drop the whole thing down into your miter slot and secure these cap head screws. You should only have to do that once and that'll fix the jig position front to back. But then these quick release levers will let you also make fine-tuning adjustments of the jig left to right, and that's the one that'll affect the joint fit. So tighten those up and you'll be ready to use the jig. So there's a series of ball bearings as well as these low friction sliding plates, and those 2 features really give this jig a nice action. Lift up the limiters to get that installed, and then you'll have stops both front and back so you won't accidentally cut into the jig. As with most box joint jigs, just slide the workpiece over and begin making cuts, and then you'll actually straddle that key as a reference mark for each successive cut. Work your way across the board, and when you're done with the first workpiece, use that to reference the second workpiece into exactly the right position. And if you've made many box joints in the past, you know you just get into a nice little rhythm and it's actually pretty enjoyable work. Make sure to flip your workpiece end over end so you wind up with the exact same patterns on both ends of your board. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good fit. So this little box probably took me all of 10 minutes on this jig, and even without glue yet, the results are just flawless. But I might want to consider some under the table dust collection for this jig. So in the end, where does this thing stand? You know, they call it the Weekend Warrior package, and to me the name is kind of deceiving. It sounds like maybe hobbyist level or serious hobbyist, and actually this thing is straight up professional grade and compares just neck and neck with my very best router tables in the shop. So I'll have links for you down below if you want to check them out. You can get them as a package or piecemeal, including some of their really nice jigs and accessories. And of course, sub up and stay tuned so you don't miss my next video. And for me, that'll be a look at the Miter XL2, so stay tuned for that one.